for this Thursday and we meet each other again. The WIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The seas might be rough, but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Let Matthew and Grizzle guide us through. The speaker is ready and so are we. Let's keep sailing on the Metaverse. Thursdays when the lightning strikes. So listen up, there's a lot to learn. Keep the treasure in your sight. Please no one get the veggie draw. Just upgrade your microphone. Together we're strong, we ain't gonna stop. Welcome to the WIP Meetup.
Boom. Quick mic check. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Easy. Thank you, Foxy. Thanks to Foxy for holding it down in the pre-WIP. This is Matthew, aka Nifty Time. We are back for the WIP, and it is it's one of those very semi-regular, like extremely awesome, amazing WIPs that we have, courtesy of the amazing, incredible Faye Backner. But to kick things off today, super stoked to have Mr. and Mrs. Richi going to be peeling away the curtain behind their upcoming Solana mint titled Cashgrabbers. Really excited to hear about that. And there's going to be a whole bunch of special whitelist opportunities, especially for folks that have bank runners as well. So stay tuned for those details from Mr. and Mrs. Richi. Also, like I mentioned, Faye Backner has curated a fantastic tour coinciding with the Metaverse Fashion Week in Decentraland that we're going to embark on, led by, I believe, Match and Andrea, or Anne. I'm not sure. We'll clarify the actual tour leaders shortly, but very excited for that. And quick show before I pass the mic to Rizzle. We continue to talk shit on the Matthew and Rizzle show. We threw a bouquet of flowers at show, just praising his clairvoyant takes, loud takes, violent takes every week that he gives us during the afties. So stay tuned for the afties this week. I'm sure will not disappoint again. And we talk about some other stuff that I think folks may find entertaining, hopefully. Last quick shout out to WG Meets. Love you, dude. Love the conversation that we always seem to get in about art. Not sure if you're in attendance, but just had to shout out WG Meets for always keeping it real, keeping it honest, and keeping it focused on the art. So with that, I'm going to shut my mouth up and pass the mic to Rizzle to get the hype train rolling for today's WIP.
Yo, can I get a mic check? Yes.
Sound good?
Yo, I don't even know why we're shouting out WG, but I'm always down to shout out WG. Dude is a legend. Yo, shout out to Foxy Yoga for holding down the pre-WIP. Yeah, we got Match Zimmerman up in the house and Silver. And once we all scrape ourselves off the floor from being dead in Hyperfi, we're going to check out Mr. Rishi's gallery. And, yo, dude has been out here for a long time, like putting out avant-garde art. And this is the type of shit we like to lean into. So, really happy to be here today. And dude, Metaverse Fashion Week, same type of thing, man. We've been in this shit for like a long time, going all the way back to flexing our stuff in crypto voxels. So we know all about that stuff, and we're gonna check it out and get the alpha. So if y'all are just tuning in, we're in the general channel of the Discord. That's where all the links will be dropped and the banter will be going on. If there's any screen sharing going on, that's where that will go on. We're in Hyperfi at the moment. We're going to be transitioning to DCL, but we are dead on the dance floor. So come hang out for a minute and be dead with us. We're going to transfer over to Mr. Richi's gallery, check out his art, and then make a quick swap over to DCL. If you're in Hyperfi, you can type /dance to dance. You can type /dead to be dead, and shift to run, and double tap spacebar to fly. We won't be in there that long, but that's how you do things. Let's see. I also have some shills, but it's like wholesome, like family shills. We got a Warpcast channel. Paradox is dropping like the latest WIP meetups, latest mixes on YouTube. Let's see what else we got going on here. And the guest book. Fabiano's dropping rats. So if you're in the WIP parcel, we're going to transition to this small dance room area. If you're locked in jail, we're going to get you out of there soon. If you can type /gallery, I'm going to start moving people now. So if you're in Hyperfi, type /gallery in there now so we can pass the mic over to Mr. Richi and start hearing about what he's got going on here. Because he's got a dope project called Cashgrabbers coming out on Solana. And it's in the spirit of a lot of shit that we get into. So type /gallery if you're in Hyperfi, and we're going to transition over to Mr. Richi, and I'm going to pass the mic.
And quick clarification, Mrs. Richi will be taking the mic. I heard Mr. Richi is a little bit under the weather.
Wonderful.
But I know he's right next to her. It's a partnership, a proper team. So Mrs. Richi, if you're there, unmute and take it away.
Dude, love the family vibe. Let's go.
Yeah. So you get poor man's Mr. Richi because the original Mr. Richi is sick, but I guess that's like in the line with Cashgrabbers, right? And everything that's going on. Okay, so love the theme song. It was great. Do you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Richi is launching next week, April 16th, a new collection on Solana. It will be on Magic Eden. It's called the Cashgrabbers, and I have to say inspiration wasn't lacking like these past months, even a year, with all the stuff happening around us. So it's essentially somewhat as a mix made at the intersection of art and PFPs, but not a regular PFP collection, because each one of them was actually made unique, handcrafted with combining elements. He used a lot of AI this time and combined it with his hand-drawn stuff, the graffiti. If anyone knows his style, I guess some of you do. Well, that's what he does. So there's a lot of street art, a lot of graffiti, a lot of quotes from the space, everything related to whatever we have been through, bumps and dumps and cash grabs and good stuff, euphoria and down bad. And it's all like summarized in this fusion of street art and punk and turned into some kind of art PFPs. So it's not really a large collection like classic of several thousands. It's actually a smallish one of 655 pieces. And he hid like Easter eggs. There are around 24 animated versions, which are pretty rare. From different characters. So whoever gets them, I think will be really, really happy with them. It's like an expression of the culture and the whole Degen space and Web3 and the crypto art. Is it dead? Is it alive? Is it a cash grab? So I think he turned all of that into art and made cash grabbers. Okay, do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. And I know we have, I'm not sure if either of you are in World, but we have a bit of a gallery of a lot of the cash grabbers set up. So I don't know if there's any specific pieces that we want to look at or draw attention to. I know Mr. Richi sent over an animated cash grabber earlier as well. If there's any elements you want to unpack, anything specific about the collection or what people may be viewing in Hyperfi, maybe that would be great. And then from there, we can do some questions from the audience.
Well, essentially, the cash grabbers are, if you look at the artworks, there are a lot of different characters. So their names are a pretty special part of the collection too. For example, the one that resembles a pope with the hollow face, he's called the Validator. So if you have the Queen Elizabeth inspired one, that one is called Royal. The Trump one is called Pumpkin, and so a lot of metadata is also essentially related to the space, which I always like when he makes a collection. He makes really all those small surprises that you need to dig into the art and the metadata and everything to get the whole story. So that's something I'd like to point out. And also, if you look at them, they actually don't have any recurring elements visual. I mean, like the no corner tears, catch a bottle, that one is actually like one of the 2 or 3 elements that are repeated throughout the collection. All others, if you see them on one cash grabber, most of them don't exist on another one in the collection. So they're all pretty unique. And they were made one by one, and that's something like that I really like to emphasize about his work, because I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it's something that he does when he makes the collections. He doesn't make them, like a regular generative art. So when he does cash grabbers on Masters of the Metaverse last year, they were actually and really made one by one, with all the quotes and visual elements. And regarding the animated cash grabber, it's one of the 24. So basically, each character, there are 12 basic characters. Each character has only 2 animated versions in the whole collection, and I think that's pretty interesting. And each animated version is also very, very different from the other ones.
Boom. So with that, I hope folks are enjoying looking at the gallery that we set up in our Hyperfi parcel. Shout out to Paradox for just creating this epic gallery that we can continually update as artists cycle through the WIP. But with that, I'll pass the mic over to Show, who will respectfully hit you in your face with some questions that folks may have about Mr. Richi and the Cash Grabber Show.
Hey y'all, how's my audio?
Nice and clear.
Sorry. Awesome, thank you. Hey, so coming into Q2 of this year, many artists have been finding different ways in order to package their new releases and market it to people. How has this process been for you in terms of attempting to reach your target audience?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's like that. If you ask any artist, I think literally any artist, except for like top 5 artists or something like that, everyone struggles with the marketing part, because making art is really easy for them. And the marketing, I guess it's not up to the mass marketing. It's about finding really who your people are, who understands what you make. So Mr. Richi has been in the space for a few years now, and he has been steadily growing like real connections with people. So essentially reaching out to people and people who know you, asking you, is something where we start, because he really likes to honor first his collectors and long-term friends and let them know first. So, and essentially after that, what him and I like to do is like base the whole story around communities that that have been here for a while, that they understand what you're trying to say with the art, that they will enjoy the art, they will enjoy the memes, they are into it, looking for communities that will feel what's going on in the space. And then of course people reach out to you as well, someone who recognizes, who sees what you do. So it's kind of an organic connection. And of course, you have some people that you would like to reach out to and have them, like Lucio Poletti's Bank Runners. I know him and Richi have been online for years. They know each other and stuff, and really appreciated each other's style. So it kind of comes natural that you support one another with launches and when you make good stuff. So not really. It's not really like a company marketing. It's more like a family marketing, starting out and then spreading to friendly communities, and then of course other bigger communities. And that's like something at the core of how we do things, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. I have a piece in my wallet from Mr. Richi called Proof of 2023. And it seems like it's a concept, that incorporates a lot of different, I would assume, personalities and projects in the background. It has like the kind of $100 USD frame kind of bill. So I'm curious if this concept will be expanded for following years. I guess proof of 2025, 26, or maybe even some kind of interesting offshoot, because it is colorful, it's fun. It's of a very limited, very limited supply. And speaking of supply, also Easy and Crypto wanted to know, how does he get on the list too, by the way, for future drops or this drop?
Okay, if you are holding already, please just reach out to him on Twitter, because he has a Richi's Art Fam DM group. Yeah, just reach out. He will add you. So there's like basic stuff that starts from there. Like everything is announced there first, and he loves to welcome people. It's just the algo is weird, and not everyone knows that. Regarding the proof of 2023, yeah, that was really fun to do, and I think he's going to expand at it at some point. Because he's a lot attached to money art and bill art. I don't know if you know, he had his first collection while async art was still blowing in 2022 was money laundering. So it was also on dollar bills, like fusion with street art and pop art and different characters, and that was really fun. So from time to time he comes back to the dollar bill art, and there's again dollar bill elements, actually a lot in Cashgrabbers, and that's like a recurring theme. And I think he will expand something like the annual edition of something similar to the proof of 2023, maybe at the end of this year. And he usually does them around Christmas or so, when you can summarize the whole year and whatever happened. So yeah, I think he has more plans with that, and actually some more plans with the dollar bill art, but he likes to take his time with making the concept.
That's awesome. Lastly, we have a question from Metageist. And he says, presumably, Richi has been watching the art scene on Solana closely, right? How's the art scene there? Was the decision to drop on Sol based on signs of a strong collector base, or was it more about the smooth UX and cheap gas?
Actually, a mix of both, because last year he launched Masters of the Metaverse on Solana. Metageist is one of the collectors, I know, and it was kind of refreshing to have a new community that welcomes you, especially because his art isn't really typically something that you can see on Solana. He's Ethereum native, and he was really happy how it was embraced on Solana. He actually got a really nice art community from that collection. So in general, the digital art on blockchain has been pretty silent, except for the largest collections and the largest names. It's like it's waiting to be woken up. Hopefully we have some JPEG Spring or Summer or something, I don't know. But essentially, I think he picked Solana for this because it's fast, it's accessible for a lot of people, and there are a lot of users, and there are people in the art community. And also, I mean, Cashgrabbers, the biggest cash grabs of this season, of this crime season, happened on Solana, right? So it's kind of appropriate to thematically place it on Solana too. I think that was his reasoning.
I love that little knife twist at the end, that symbolic import. So, Mrs. Richi, thank you so much for conveying Cashgrabbers so thoughtfully and beautifully. Shout out Mr. Richi for putting together an amazing collection. Like Mrs. Richi mentioned, folks that are eligible for the whitelist spot but haven't entered it yet, make sure you reach out to Mr. Richi. There should be a post going out for bank runners specifically by Lucho sometime within the day, that for bank runners holders will also make them eligible for the whitelist as well. The requirement there is just like share your ETH address that you hold your bank runner, and then drop the Solana address, because the Solana address is what they need to set up the whitelist for the whitelist minting phase. So again, Mrs. Richi, thank you so much, and I'm very, very excited for next week and Cashgrabbers.
Thank you for having me. And everyone feel free to reach out to Mr. Richi, or if you have any questions, or also want to leave your soul wallet besides what Matthew mentioned. Okay. Thank you. And thank you again for having me. And hope next week will be really good. Bye.
Let's go. It will be. All right, Rizzle.
Yeah.
And everyone here, fire up the DCL clients. Who are we passing the mic to?
I think we're passing the mic to Bay, and I'm gonna interject with a quick shill here that I forgot to mention earlier with a bunch of our stuff. Hit us up on Warpcast, YouTube, all this stuff. Mr. Richi, Mrs. Richi, all the stuff they're putting out, the stuff that you're gonna see here in Decentraland. Post that shit so we can tip you and warm out our Warpcast channel and everything. Big shout out to the crew who makes this happen week in and week out. It's just distracted earlier. I'm doing the single parent thing. I got kids coming home from school, but this is a big production that we love the crew who makes this happen. Foxy Yoga, Easy Paradox Show, Dragonade, Conwolf, Brookhawk, Fabiano, Patricia, Fractillions, Johan, Matt, Metageist. It's a big thing, and we love all of you for showing up for this thing. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Bay, and we got a couple people in the audience willing to speak and do some Metaverse, Decentraland Metaverse Fashion Week drop alpha. So let's go. What's up, Bay?
Hey, Rizzle, can you hear me?
Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, so I'm going to share my screen if that works. Can I do that?
Hell yeah.
Hey, okay, I'm going to share the entire screen. Go, go, go. So it's Metaverse Fashion Week. It started yesterday. We're all in Decentraland. It's been incredible so far. So you probably can see my screen now. This is the Metaverse Fashion Week showgrounds. The thing you see in front of me here is the huge runway. We've just had the show by Cyberdog, which was amazing. The community have kind of now taken over the runway, so it's gone DCL. 4 days of fashion in Decentraland Virtual World. 47 different brands we've collaborated with on panels, 16 interactive showrooms, 26 different wearable drops that you can claim within the builds. We've got massive amounts of runways. The one this evening, which is going to be super awesome, is the Wearables Around the World, which is 23 community members all creating new wearables about their geography, cultural heritage, story. They're going to be debuting those on the catwalk in an hour after WIP. It's been incredible, but I kind of want to pass the mic almost straight away to two creators that work with me on two of the showrooms that are part of the 16. We've got two zones in the showrooms: augmented self, exploring things like VR mirrors, virtual reality installation, AI styling. And then the other side, we've got something called story self, which is about storytelling through virtual environments, storytelling through wearables and NFTs. So Match and Andrea are from the two sides of the divide. Match is on the story self side of the showrooms, and Andrea is on the augmented self. So they're two incredible creators that I super admire, both of whom are XR artists. They're experimenting, they're doing amazing drops. And Match has got a special drop going on for the WIP crew in his showroom, timed for this event. It only went live a few minutes ago. So Match, are you there?
I am here. Can you all hear me?
Hey.
All right.
I can. And can you see we're in your showroom now on this?
Yeah, I'm in there dancing right now, and I'm watching. I love it.
I see you. Do you want to tell us what we can see right now?
Yeah. Thanks. First of all, thanks for having me. It's so cool to be here, talking on WIP. This is one of the first Metaverse online communities that I ever even explored or checked out, and it was at Bay's recommendation a couple of years back when I was first getting into this space. So it's cool to be back here and still feeling the support and getting to be on the other side of the mic, which is pretty cool. But yeah, in the showroom, ultimately, what I'm showing here is a project that I call MZ Birds, MZBRDZ. There are two custom wearables that are dropping now. They're available now, and I think they're also one of the quest tasks today. If you come find the bird in the showroom, you can then you get a fourth of your tasks completed before you get your little wearable stuff. So anyway, in this space, the MZ Birds project is to go off of what Bay was saying with storytelling and that sort of thing. A lot of the work that I do, whether it's physical or digital, fashion, just conceptual art, sound design, whatever it might be, a lot of times it's an exploration of like a specific element of narrative. So how do you tell stories, and then how do we zoom in and blow up one of those elements of those stories to become an entire kind of universe? And in this case, it's really an exploration of character, with that bird being the key character. The reason it fits well in, or nicely into, this year's theme of infinite identities in Metaverse Fashion Week is because by design, it's just the outline of the bird. And then when it's embroidered on a physical fabric, like in my shop, you can buy physical stuff. It takes on whatever the fill becomes, whatever the fabric is or whatever the design is. And then Bay and I were talking about a couple different things that we could do that weren't just straight wearables, but maybe something that could extend that idea of people making it their own thing, or this sort of arbitrary identity that happens just because it has this transparent see-through element to it. So we came up with the idea of making the actual logo a head that you can wear and shift your head out. And so not only does the head take on all these different fills, which is kind of representative of, infinite sort of a spectrum of color or whatever you want to call it with race and that kind of stuff. And I think embracing that in the metaverse is important. We don't need to stay stuck with whatever like human limitations that we've decided are important as a society or whatever. We might as well embrace the fact that we don't have these limitations. So by creating this thing and making it available to people, the hope is that everyone dresses it differently. We get different shots and, photographs, selfies of people wearing the head in different settings. So we can see through the head, and the head ultimately has a different fill, but they might be wearing a dress with it. You could be wearing, you could have some kind of wild sort of floaty thing happening if you've got some smart wearable happening underneath. But the actual idea here is just to sort of really create a visual representation of these infinite identities with a shared element that wasn't overwhelming, that people could kind of style on their own.
Yeah, there's so much, Matt. Like, how do you hope people are going to style this?
Yeah, so I think that's like, the way this project started was actually an illustration project initially, and it was an illustration practice thing that I needed something. I like to sketch every day and draw every day, and as a creative practice, and sometimes I have to like think about what to do. I always just make marks if I don't know what to do. But at one point I thought, well, what if I always had something I came back to? So I created this bird, this really simple bird that I just would draw every single day and post a new one on Instagram for, I don't know how many days in a row I did it. This was years ago. And people started getting into it, and these kind of characters started to develop. And something I did then was actually made physical, like a PDF that people could print out and then color it in themselves. And people would take pictures of it and share it on Instagram and X and whatever. And what I loved about that was that I didn't care what the people did. I actually was more excited to not have any idea of what was going to happen. I think for me, a lot of in my practice and just in the work that I like engaging with is I like manipulation of the arbitrary. When something arbitrary or accidental happens and we're able to put meaning behind it, or it reinforces something else, or it takes us down a new avenue of thought, for me, that's the most exciting thing. So I'd love to see this, like, hacked apart, looked weird, whatever. I think I just love that people make, especially like the WIP crew, who go like wild and do some really weird in a great way stuff. And then a lot of the DCL crew, like, to have people just try different custom things that they might have, or maybe some new wearables, or if they want to pair it with this windbreaker that's also free today, they can. But yeah, so for me, it can be anything. It is kind of rad, which I didn't think of, but like Bay's got these wings on right now. To have a bird and to like give it wings, not like Red Bull, but I think part of why I went from illustration to then PDFs that got sent out to other people, then into printing it on fabrics and then embroidering it and then making it digital and all that, was because I wanted to see the sort of like the flock sort of migrate, I guess, and just see what happens. I also like the idea of, is this one bird, or is it just like the base of an infinite amount of birds that people make their own, right? And people ask me that question a lot. And I it's not that I don't have an answer to it. It's that I don't really think of it as one bird. I think of it as the kind of foundational element of an identity that instead of having to like start fresh, you can just kind of grab this bird and express yourself through that, whether that's through like a hand-drawn illustration thing or through wearing it as a head. But I love the idea of people flying around the space with the bird. That's like so nuts. And the last thing I'll say on that is that a lot of the audience, I sort of am split with sort of communities and artist communities that are like, as a lot of us are, that are, some are on chain, some are off chain. And a big thing that I'm really interested in is the relationship between off and on chain stuff, and what happens when you port some off to the on and take some of the on and put it into the real world. So last year I had a wearable that I made for DCL's Art Week, and then this year I just put it on my website. I made a physical version of the sweater, the Dazzle camo sweater. So it is cool to have stuff come from the physical world into the virtual and vice versa. But the thing that I love about that is that my community that's maybe more physical based or knows my art in IRL, they don't really see as much of they don't experience as much of the Web3 stuff, especially the more interactive DCL or WIP or like Hyperfy stuff. So I think this is just a cool way to pull it all together and also leave some like mystery there where there's this weird bridge between these two communities that sort of know me. And maybe I have different identities in those too. I don't think I do, but you know. Anyway, I see Bay's wearing the sweater now. That's free in the DCL shop if you want to grab one.
I'm wearing the sweater. I'm going to order the physical, obviously.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really conscious of time because I want Show to have time to ask you questions and for everyone to ask Anne questions as well. So, Andrea, Anne, are you on the call with us? Can you join?
I am. I'm here.
Hey,
Hi.
hey. I love connecting you both as well because you're like two of the creators that I completely admire in XR. So it's like such a pleasure to have you both on this WIP right now. I'm going to run to your showroom. I'm wearing your goggles, obviously. So I'm going to run across the Anne's showroom. This is the Fashion Week runway. We've got the party zone where all the parties and the live streams are happening. If you want to experiment in terms of tech, there's some really cool stuff that's going on the way. This is the photo wall. You can take photos, make them public, they'll appear straight away on the photo wall. So hack that WIP if you want to cover the photo wall here in WIP images. We've got amazing installations over here by Kanzi, by Storm. But here we have, down here.
Nice. Yeah, this is so fun.
So here we have the showroom.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna
Here we are.
Okay. This is so beautiful. Yeah. Do you want me to just jump into?
Yeah, jump in.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm Andrea. I go by Anzan as my artist name. That's sort of left over from when I was making a lot of NFT art. I was like, okay, it's actually just a shortening of my name, Andrea Zan Silverman. So Anzan Silver is what I go by a lot. So this is my product that I was experimenting with. I spent the past year working in mixed reality at Microsoft and testing headsets. And I was like, I spent so much time wearing other people's headsets. And I was like, just sort of, after that project ended, I was like, I want to do my own thing. I want to have like my own style. I want it to be super fashionable. And it just coincided with, the Fashion Week timeline. And I thought, similar to what Match was saying, how like this is a virtual world. So we aren't constrained by, real life. And, I can make the headset super sleek because I don't have to worry about like weight or computing power or how is it overheating or like all this stuff. I could just focus visually on like, in my ideal world, what would I make my headsets look like? And then like, what would the different use cases be? So I've got the fashion visor, which is more stylistic. I think people could wear it. I've got these women and men on the catwalk here, images of it, and they're wearing like, you know, sleek bodysuits and just these, it's just really sexy, really fashionable. I love it so much. It's something like I want to wear all the time because it looks so good, right? But then I was thinking of the ways that I could integrate. This is something I'll have to do. Like, this is like the next thing that I'm going to do when I upgrade these. But I'm thinking of like different emotes that I would inject into it that would kind of represent the feeling someone gets when they're wearing augmented reality headsets in real life. You know, I was thinking like, what sort of stuff would they want to be seen? And then how can I just play around? So I'm still building this out and working on it. But this was my first wearable that I've ever made. These two are. And I just felt like if I'm going to do this, this is the place to do it. And it's so perfect. So I was really glad when Bay took a chance on me and was just like, okay, you know, I know you'll figure it out. And she's just been awesome, giving me, you know, this whole program has had like so much creative reign. And it's just like, if you can build it, then like, yeah, do it. Right. So, it's been amazing. I actually used ChatGPT to come up with the initial styles. And so I, you know, did a lot of research and I took a lot of information on what currently exists for headsets that I like, in terms of like the chassis design of the frame. And I just input a whole bunch of data into ChatGPT and then mixed it with some of my style ideas. And then said, hey, like, help me come up with some images for what this could look like, you know? And so I just went through so many images. If you go on my profile, I've got a link to all the different headsets that I designed through different iterations. And you can actually experience them in AR on my website that is linked. I think it says like AR headsets in AR or something like that on my profile, DCL profile. And you can see all the different things, like my whole process behind what I've been working on with these headsets. And so one is the sporty, which I think, you know, it's something that people could wear when they're, you know, wanting to feel more sporty. The other one is more sleek. I think, you know, those are pretty visually obvious in terms of how different they are. But so what I did after I took the images that I got, so I got still images from Dolly, and then I took that into Runway, and then I was, you know, sort of like creating these, that's how I actually created the runway scenes and the videos that are in this, was through Runway. And then I took those images and different like stills from those images, and then I imported it into Meshy.ai. And then that's how I got the 3D models. And then from there, I took it into Blender, and then I had to lower, you know, the triangle count. And for me, this was really a labor of love, like basically, how does this all work, and how can I use the tools that are available right now to help me to visualize what's in my mind, you know, these ideas that have been in my mind. And so I had to go in there and, you know, I started with this model that's rotating above, and I had to go in and erase the head from the headset, you know, because a lot of them, when they modeled it, they modeled the whole head, like in Meshy.ai. And so I had to go in and then figure out how to remove stuff. And sometimes it over removed and it would like pull a piece from the headset. So then I'd have to mesh it back together. And then it was just a lot of, this project was about materials and learning how to use these digital materials, and building just basically this whole product of my imagination into this place where it can exist without any of the technological constraints that we are dealing with in real life right now, you know, as everyone's making these like Meta is working so hard in the AR headset race, you know, and Apple and, you know, all the big names. And so it's just really cool to be able to play around and have fun and see how do people interact with it. And for me, it was kind of like can I use this virtual experience as a way to prototype for the real world, use it as like my sandbox for prototyping in the real world and seeing what will people be into and what kind of feedback will I get. So yeah, I'd love to hear if anybody has like any sort of feedback or anything they want to share regarding just the design or like, you know, anything at all. For me, I'm super interested in the research behind it as well and just like collecting that feedback. But yeah, for sure, go to my website and then you can check out other headsets that I tried on and you could explore them in your world. Like you can do, I'm still working on how to be able to look at it and have it like actually be on your face in the real world. But right now you can basically explore the model and turn it around in your real world. Like it's right there in front of you. And so, yeah, thanks so much for giving me this chance to talk about my passion project. I could go on and on, obviously, because I'm super into this. And it's nice to be able to share a part of my world with people globally on a global level and to be able to connect with others that are interested in this. So super, super, super grateful. Thank you, Bae, so much for.
Oh, you're super welcome. Like
everything.
my cheeks are smiling. They're hurting. I'm smiling just listening to you both talk about your work. So I want to leave time for everyone to be able to ask questions to Anne and Match. Do you want to jump in with questions, or do you want to have a very final tour of the grounds here at Metaverse Fashion Week?
Question. Are you asking both of us?
No, if Show's around. A Show usually does the questions at the WIP Meetup. So
yeah.
He's been gathering. Hey, Show, are you there? Rizzle?
Yeah. I'm here. I was just letting you finish. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Bae,
What's up?
Bae and crew, welcome back to the WIP. This is awesome. This is inspiring. A lot of us are poking at things and trying to grab stuff without telling anyone, and it's awesome.
26 wearables in the grounds. So 4 are through the daily quests, 22 are like in the grounds in the showrooms and in the party zone. So yeah, see if you can get the 22.
Yeah, that's, in the history of this entire space, very few collectives, communities, or even platforms gives you the chance to actually collect as many free things, such as this. So shout out to you. That's awesome. It's a really great incentive. Aside from the WIP, obviously, but that's not whatever. But this is great. Do you possibly, and this is a question for all of you, do you possibly see a future where we're able to edit in the real world our clothing, in a way, or customize our clothing in real time, whether that be the actual physical, like the physical fabric, or maybe even editing some kind of AR layer that's overlay that's connected to your actual clothes, that or maybe some kind of way where maybe they're like sensors in the street that reflect what clothing you wear. I don't know. Is this something that's viable? Is there a means to this? A means for this, pardon me.
Yeah, I'd say absolutely, and then I'll turn it over to Andrea because I know that she's worked in this space a bunch too. But all the technology actually exists now, and I think the way to look at technology is like it's always at its slowest and biggest version of itself in like right now, today, in contemporary like reality, right? So whatever is available today is only going to get faster and smaller and more affordable. So if you think about that, you can actually, even an example would be like on your phone, if we have our wallets on our phone and you have, a chip in your phone that is sort of like set to broadcast or not broadcast, if everyone was walking around with the same kind of VR goggles or AR goggles, right? Like that ultimately will be glasses soon enough because they're just smaller. And going with that theory, everything's going to be smaller and more affordable. So more people will be wearing them. And if you've opted in to this AR overlay in the real world, you could see people's, just like I could actually sync my Decentraland avatar to my like wallet or whatever, which is being broadcast from my cell phone. And then anyone who has those glasses could see how I'm presenting to the world. And of course you could take them off and see who you really are. So you still should have clothes on. But like, I think it's totally doable. But yeah, I'll hand it over to see what you have to say. Also, Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mitch. Yeah. Actually, like, I totally agree with everything you're saying. And for me, like, that's definitely my dream. I love the aspect of like having dresses, like clothes that I can wear that kind of are like screens, so that, you know, I always have this, I created this dress that I call like the teleportation dress or whatever, because I had to put "and" in it, but the teleportation dress is basically like, you know, where I could have any kind of artwork that I want on a little shift dress that I think, or like a t-shirt dress, because I think that would be really easy for me to do. And it's something that I would wear every day. I saw Adobe working on something like that a couple of years ago, where it was basically a whole bunch of little like monitors on the dress. And so they're able to have it, have whatever you want on it. Basically, you could like change the pattern, whatever. So for me, like, I think that aspect would be super cool to be able to change my outfits to make them digital and, you know, like phygital, I guess, literally. But also I love the idea of, I mean, I know with Meta, they are focusing on getting rid of phones completely and just using headsets, so that we can have our hands free, we can enjoy our life, and we could just wear glasses and get everything we need from there. And so I definitely see, like, in my mind, I envision a world where everything can be augmented if you want it to be, you know, like basically like as much as you want it to be. Of course, not everyone will want that, right? Some people might find that too overstimulating. So I think like that's the thing, is like having the choice to control how much of it we want to be augmented, or like being able to turn it on easily or whatever. But it'd be such a great way for us to be able to really combine our digital lives with our, like, you know, real lives, so that we can express ourselves. I mean, there's so many ways I want to express myself that I can't in real life as easily as I could, you know, digitally, when I have to worry about like physics or whatever, right? Like, wouldn't it be so cool to have a set of wings, you know, like that I'm flapping as I'm walking around town, and only people with glasses that can see it see that, like, as I'm walking through town. And I just think just stuff like that, to be able to augment the way we live our life, would be so cool. I can't wait. I think it's going to be here for sure. I just don't know how quickly it will be, or how quickly like mass adoption might happen. But you know, yeah, that's definitely the goal, to be able to do that.
It's a kind of augmentation plug. In the meantime, while this is kind of happening, I don't know if anyone can see on the screen right now, but I'm in Tansy's installation, which is called Entangled Q. Tansy's one of our also amazing creators that works in Decentraland. He's done builds. I think you might remember his Wellness Week build with the talking raccoon and the Tranquility Garden. Jump in now. You can kind of overwhelm yourself. I don't know how much you want to do this, but Rizzle, I can imagine this going crazy for you. You can kind of run around and turn all of these statue avatars into quantum entangled versions of your identity, which then give you a round of applause. Sure, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Oh no, you're not. You're not. This is a question for all of you. Would you say that we need glasses if Meta's trying to get rid of the phone because it's cumbersome? I feel that glasses are cumbersome as well. Is there another medium that we can express this? And also, Meta guys also want to know, which AR solutions are you all looking at if Meta killed their old app?
Yeah, actually, I could speak to this in terms of like next iterations. There are some startups. There's a startup here in the Seattle area that has actually been working on augmented contact lenses for a couple of years. And they've been going through testing before it can really be released, you know, publicly. Because, you know, there's just a lot of restrictions involved with stuff like that. But I know that people are thinking what's beyond glasses, because I agree with you. It is cumbersome. The benefit is that our hands would be free, so that we could, you know, like live our life with our hands free, which would be so great to not have a phone in it all the time. But then it's the next level of like, oh, I'm wearing these glasses all day, you know, if you don't want to. Beyond contacts, like I don't know. I really don't, like maybe some sort of like projector technology or something. I haven't really thought about, you know, what would be beyond that. So I don't know. What do you think, Match?
Yeah, so well, something that I'm interested in my own research, separate from the art, well, it's all connected, I guess, but is this idea of like what I would call cognitive entanglement of human and machine, which is now with AI having memory and learning our moods and that sort of thing, and picking up on our tone and what we're interested in, it becomes an extension of how we think rather than a partner. And so if you put that into this situation, it still might be glasses or contacts or something, but ultimately what could be happening is, and this is just to add another layer of like, I think like something really cool, but also pretty insane, is that you could actually have an overlay in your glasses or your contacts that it's reading based on this AI extension, reading the body language of the person in front of you. And like, if you were buying a car and you were trying to talk to the person, like, are they actually being genuine here? Is that a fact? So you could like fact check people in real time. It could give you like warning signs of like, hey, this person's doing a lot of stuff because what ultimately we need to do is like stop trying to treat AI as if it's a human and embrace it for what it's like superhuman powers, which are like infinite pattern recognition abilities in an instant, right? So I do think like more and more we're moving towards this kind of thing, and we're moving into true integration of everything. Yeah, and it's just a matter of how do we make it easier? How do we make it less cumbersome? How do we also like ethically protect these things and that kind of stuff? So yeah, I think whether it's on the we've hit this point now with AI and soon affordable quantum computing, where when you say like, you know, anything is possible, I think we actually have hit that point where literally if you can think of something, AI can probably figure it out for you, right? You know, and that's a very simplified sort of philosophy, but I do think it's like, yeah, it's just a matter of how and when. But before you could have great ideas and be like, oh, far off in the future. Now we're looking, especially once we get into quantum stuff, we're looking at, you know, things that would have taken 1 billion years to calculate, taking like 30 seconds. So that's a whole nother way of thinking about the world and reality, I think. So yeah, anyway, all of this I think is exciting and definitely awesome. But there's going to be lots of ups and downs. And something to remember is that all technology is a double-edged sword, right? It can be used, the power can be used for good or bad. That's one standard through history that we've seen, right? Nuclear power could have saved the world, but instead we had to kind of lock it up because it got used for evil. So again, simplification there just to prove a point or to make a point, but I'm totally with Andrea on this. Like, and it's so cool as you were someone who's actually connected to the industry on like the technical and physical side of stuff. It's really cool to get that insight from your perspective. So thanks for sharing that in terms of like what people are up to and what they're prioritizing and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you. And we're going to have to take this conversation offline too, because we have so much to talk about. I mean, like,
yeah, no doubt. That's exciting.
Go on and on.
For sure.
I love it. So great to be in connection with you.
I'm really hoping that you're going to come to prom together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like these metaverse connections, like obviously I'm going to go with WIP crew members. Prom is at the end of May. It's our next big event after Fashion Week. So yeah, we've got to make it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, love that.
Yo, thank you all so much for coming out. Big shout out to Bay, Anna, Match for holding it down and telling us all about Metaverse Fashion Week and making it rain wearables on it. I know Kim Courier's up in the house and everything, so please explore DCL and grab all the wearables and everything. And I just got to say, as a contact lens wearer for a long, long time before I got my eyes fixed, they suck really bad. And I would love the technology to be able to, like, see some shit, but like the regular ones are like pretty fucking awful. Likes them, I don't. So hey, there we go. I got mine zapped, and it's a whole new world, like a rebirth. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'm gonna throw the mic back over to Matt in case I missed anything. Everybody look out for Mr. Richi's drop. Thanks for Mrs. Richi for holding it down, and appreciate everyone who's like disrupting the space and out here in this environment, because y'all don't have to be, and there's not a lot of incentive to do it besides passion. And we got that. So I appreciate you all very, very much. Yo, I'm gonna throw the mic over.
Appreciate you, Rizzo.
Yo,
Obviously,
appreciate you too, man.
thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
thank you so much.
How do you hate ENS and contacts? It's crazy.
Yo, I also think pick my battles, man. I dig in hard and I pick my battles.
Major faux pas. Did we not take a group shot? Like, what's going on over here?
Oh no, are we trying to do a group shot?
Let's
have to do a group shot.
Yeah, we got a little fragmented, running around trying to collect wearables and everything. So can we get one link where we can herd everybody together in DCL? What's the best way to do this? Maybe the main spot?
Yeah, I'm heading over to where that photo op is.
Yeah, Dragonite, cue the theme music in the meantime. Folks, gather in world where you see all the bodies running to.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Alrighty, cool. How am I sounding? 2 out of 2, 5 out of 5? All good?
5 out of 5, sir.
Beautiful. All right. First of all, oh my God, Bay, this event is crazy. So kudos to everyone involved and for all the work you've put into it. It's so good. Alrighty, cool. And for anyone that is listening, you probably know I'm the resident WIP videographer. Point in the show where we take a group photo and I collect some video. So, if you are in world, I'm going to describe this. So near the dance floor. Behind the dance floor, there's like a little tunnel kind of thing. You'll find myself and Bay, and who else is here? Rooston's here, Easy's here. We're going to take a little group photo here. So come to the dance floor in the main area. I reckon, let's see. I'm going to start running around to see if I can get anyone I recognize. Metageist, I see you. Ballistic Banana, Brooke Hawk. Come on, guys, go to the dance floor. And then we're going to take this group photo. Let's get... Dragonite, do you want to play like 20 seconds of music, let everyone gather, and then we'll, awesome. I'm going to see if I can get anyone else. Come on, Foxy. To the dance floor, Foxy. Cool. Right, I think that's all the WIP folk. Okay, cool. So pump the music. I'm gonna take some video. Here we go. Beautiful. Right, I'm gonna take one shot actually in DCO. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, I think that's everything from me this week. I don't know how we're gonna top it next week because this is awesome. All right, I'll catch you all next week. Paradox out. Cheers.
There we go. Can't skip protocol. All right. Big thank you to all the speakers. Mrs. Richi, Mr. Richi in the background. Get excited for Cashgrabbers. Bay, Mach, Andrea. My God, this is super cool. I had a blast claiming a whole bunch of wearables and listening to the future plans and all the good stuff. So big shout out to y'all. Everyone, thank you all for coming. Stick around or get excited
Did Matt just rug?
I think so.
Oh, damn. Discord showing a lot of yellow exclamation marks by a bunch of people. Discord just killed itself. Okay, so Discord just killed itself, everybody. And a bunch of people probably disconnected and are probably in the process of reconnecting.
It's just us left.
Yeah. Just for anyone, in case anyone doesn't know, if you have that issue where Discord just starts reloading on its own and it's like doing absolutely nothing, just click on Discord and hit Control R. It'll do a refresh and probably reload it faster. I see a bunch of people disconnecting still.
Jeez. Oh, we're waiting on that.
Yo, what happened?
Discord fucked itself in the ass.
Okay, I was wondering if it was just me, but it seemed like okay, it wasn't just me. All right, good.
No, it's like everybody, and now there's only 4 people left in the voice channel. Okay, 3 people left.
Okay, yo, what's up, Dragon 8, Ruthless Rob? What a weird whip. I guess we just end it. Should we play the cheese song anyway?
It's just you and me. So, nah.
Yo, let's do it. Do it.
Cheese, death to audio problems.
Cheese, cheese,
Rachel says death to audio problems.
Cheese, cheese,
Funny thing is, Discord shows all systems operational, so this is even more terrible.
We honestly, it was pretty good. We got like basically the entire whip in, and then it crashed like right on the nose, like 4 o'clock. So.
This is so terrible.
What does the recording do in a situation like this? Does it just get like, does like the recording just record blankness, or is it going to record like a giant clusterfuck of chaos?
Okay, end of the WIP, everyone.